Okay, welcome everybody to the Straight Talk podcast presented by Johnny Mo Media. I am Johnny Mo. I'm a 13-year sober. Start over. Welcome everybody. This is the Straight Talk podcast presented by Johnny Mo Media, and I am Johnny Mo. I'm a 23-year Air Force veteran, 13-year recovering alcoholic, suicide survivor, son, father, husband, brother, and uncle. Just looking to raise awareness of addiction, PTS, anxiety, depression, and other issues facing our veterans today, and hoping to give some sort of advice or kick in the butt to those who just need to get out of their dark place and know that there are others who can survive and who have. There is hope, right? One day at a time. We'll get through it. I do have a couple thank yous to throw out there first. A couple attaboys, a couple shout outs before we get started. I want to give a big shout out to all my brothers at the Cali Park Recovery House in Austintown, Ohio. Spent some time with them last week, and man, they really impacted me. They impacted me to such an extent that I have applied for my certified drug counseling assistance license. And in the next year, I should move up to a certified drug counselor. That's the big news. So hopefully you all saw it on Facebook and the Instagram, and well, that's the big news. I'm going for my counselor's license. That counselor's license will afford me the opportunities to reach the people that I really want to reach. That's the addicted veteran, the anxious veteran, those that come into the SAM Center in Maslin that just need some assistance. I'll be allowed to legally hold peer groups at some point once I get my peer license. There's a little snafu with that right now, but I'm going to get that too, and we're going to hold some sessions, some therapy, some get-togethers, whatever we're going to call it, and just really increase our network and our reach. And I'm really, really excited about it. So big shout out to those guys at Cali Park. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep it real. Keep it 100%. And look, man, we'll get through it. Okay. I'll see y'all real soon. Want to give another shout out to Hayden Bowsby and Alliance Racing. They were racing up in Pittsburgh today, and Hayden took the checker flag first. So congratulations to Hayden on his, I believe that's his third career victory in the F4 series. So congratulations to Hayden and everybody at Alliance Racing. I want to talk a little bit today about gratitude and how you accept it, because many people like myself have a difficult time understanding when someone says thank you, or really grasping it when someone appreciates what you do for them. You know, I told you that I think it was almost 2 weeks ago now that I was at Cali Park, come to think of it, but I went back that Friday. That was on a Tuesday. I went back that Friday and I delivered 10 blankets made by this 96-year-old woman who lives in a nursing home in Maslin. And the only stipulation that she has is these blankets have to go to veterans, and she requests a thank you card. Well, I showed up with those blankets for those vets, and they were ecstatic, absolutely thrilled that someone cared about them enough to make those blankets. They came through the Sam Center in Maslin. So Shalise and Brian Bowman, if you're listening, man, thank you very much. You guys really made some vets happy that day. Really, you did. Um, and then I spent lunch with a couple of them. They're not allowed to leave. A couple of them aren't allowed to leave. A couple of them just wanted to eat in the chow hall downstairs or whatever you call it. But I went across the street to the Mexican joint and I bought, I don't know, I think I got fajitas and tacos for the guys, and a couple of them came up when we had lunch together, and again got another vet to open up a little bit and really got to understand where he's coming from. And that's a big deal in recovery. When you can finally talk about the reasons that you're angry or upset or searching for that high, that drunk, that numbness, it really makes it easier to get through the next 24 hours. So to the guys up there, man, you guys really had an impact on me, and I can't wait to see you again. After that, I went up to Cleveland on another, I don't know, I think it was like a 60-mile ride, and I picked up some T-shirts from James and Tiffany Hogue. Their website, A Bushel and a Peck of Love, donates their time for these T-shirts for Johnny Mo Media and asks for nothing in return. I didn't know them before the show. They got with a buddy of mine, Wayne, and said, "Hey, we'd really like to help out. Check these out." And the the willingness to assist us in any way that they can is truly heartwarming, no doubt. They their hearts are bigger than their house. I don't know how they do it. They're helping with a couple other organizations as well, and they just want to do what they can. Neither one of them are military. They don't have the experiences in life that I do or many of my listeners do, and it's just truly overwhelming the awesomeness of these people. So another thank you to them. Then I rode home about an hour and a half, 2 hours I think, and then wound up at a bar restaurant with a bunch of friends that ride motorcycles just across the street from that recovery house. And I hadn't even been there 5 minutes yet, and one of my good friends, she knows who she is, really, really touched me deeply with her conversation with me, and it was hard to accept at first, and then you just kind of have to let your guard down and let those people speak their minds and speak what's in their heart to you and how you've impacted them. And I'll only share one line from her because I told her I'd keep her story private. But that one line was, sometimes when I'm listening to you, I feel like I'm the only one you're talking to. And man, that was I don't have a word for it. It had been an incredible week already, and that made it even better to know that someone I've known for a few years now is so deeply impacted just by me sharing my story and my experiences and how I get through things. It, again, heartwarming, I guess, fulfilling emotionally, spiritually, was just amazing. And to top it off, that conversation was probably 30 minutes long with her, and it was just her and I. There wasn't anybody else around. We stepped away for that conversation, and on the way back, I got stopped by a guy I just met probably 2 months ago, Mike, and Mike said, "I got something for you." And Mike had taken the time to create a Johnny Mo Media Straight Talk podcast, laser etched slate rock and stand for the Johnny Mo Media podcast. He didn't want nothing for it. He just said, "I wanted to do this for you because I believe in what you're doing and I want to support you any way that I can." And again, what an incredible, incredible week. Um, I didn't ask for any of these things. These guys just popped up, and bam, they're out here and they're ready to support and help, and it's truly amazing. It just is. And then on Sunday, I mean, if the week couldn't get any damn better, And then on Sunday was Save 22's inaugural golf outing. And that golf outing raised $3,000 for Save 22's golfing outreach program. It was our very first one, and we now have a nice little kitty to reach more veterans through golf. And, some people might say, how the hell are you going to reach anybody through golf? Well, let me tell you, how do you reach anybody through fishing, through riding a motorcycle, through group therapy, through a cookout, through auto racing, through a phone call? You reach them because you put them in a place that they are familiar with, they are comfortable with, doing activities that they thoroughly enjoy. And because of the generosity of the individuals that donated and sponsored, and let me stop there real quick. Huge, huge shout out to Dan Ratliff and Gargoyle Garage for sponsoring the first place winnings and the second place winnings for the Save 22 inaugural event. What an incredible, incredible individual Dan is to be willing to just pony up his own dough out of Gargoyle Garage and sponsor that event for us. He rode nearly 2 hours, battling some rain to be there for the event. He stayed all day. Unfortunately, I had to leave and head to work out here in Arkansas. But that speaks volumes to his integrity, his demeanor, his attitude towards veterans and helping veterans. Dan is a Navy vet himself, and I don't hold that against him. But what an awesome, awesome week, awesome weekend, awesome event. Sometimes we overuse the word awesome and love and things like that, but man, I have not been that happy for that long in a very, very long time. And if I'd have pulled that trigger almost 5 years ago, I wouldn't be here for it. I wouldn't be this happy. I'd be gone. And the only people that would be hurting anymore were the people that I left behind. And I wouldn't have impacted as many as I have. Not an ego stroke, not a narcissistic comment, but just the truth. I had three people over the week come up and say that, what I've said has impacted them, that they feel that I'm only talking to them when I'm giving the show. Just, man, what an incredible feeling, and I challenge each and every one of you, if there's something that you want to do, some people you want to impact, number one, start with yourself. Make yourself better. Make yourself the best example of you that you could possibly be, and others will follow. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Be the best you that you can be, and things will happen. Things will happen that are completely beyond your dream. For so long now, I've thought that when Sonia and I talked, and her comment was, there's bigger things for you. I feel it coming. I don't know what they are, but they'll be there. I had visions of grandeur, a book deal, a big sponsor, somebody buying the show, things like that. And when I spoke to those 8 vets for those 8 hours, I was completely fulfilled. That was the bigger. I had a captive audience of addicted veterans who wanted to get better, and I was able to share my story with those guys, my experiences, my hopes, my victories, my downfalls, my defeats. I could share all that with them. And those guys came to me afterwards and said, "You need to come back. You need to come back because you speak the truth, you talk straight, you give us hope that we can do it too." And man, there's no doubt they can do it. There's no doubt that they can do it. But these counselors, and this is not a slap on them or Kelly Park or anything, they don't have a recovered veteran as a counselor. So these guys are talking to counselors who don't have their same life experiences. They may have been addicted, they may have gotten sober, but they don't have the same life experiences. I've never pulled the trigger and taken another man's life like some of these vets have, and that's got to be hard. There's no question that that's difficult. What I have done is I've been in the areas after those attacks. I've taken the personal effects of those killed the night before, or sometimes just hours before, um, out of country to get those effects back home to their families. I've picked up fathers in combat zones who are going home on emergency leave because their daughter is having emergency surgery to save her life. Those things are, while they feel like just a job at the time, and you're just doing it because you're supposed to do it, and that's what's requested or required. When you wind up in a hotel room alone, sober, for weeks on end, and you allow yourself to have solitude, your brain starts to go through things that can and do mess with you. They can take you to dark places. You get into the what ifs, or I wonder what happened, or I wonder what they're doing now type things. And it's not healthy. It's not healthy. In fact, just the other night, I think it was Thursday night, I was very anxious, very fidgety. I couldn't relax. I couldn't chill out. I didn't know where to go, what to do. It's like 100 damn degrees around here. And my last trip down here, I was walking every day after work. Well, I went to the park the other day after work, and there ain't a soul around because the real feel was like 108, 109. It's humid as hell. And I'm like, look, I'm all about walking and relieving stress, but that's a little too much for me right now. So Thursday night, I waited till about 7:45 and I started walking. And I think I walked 4 miles. But I didn't slow my pace the whole time. And I realized while I was walking that that's all I needed to do was just go for a walk. Um, we have to get out of our own heads. Sometimes our head is the worst place that we could possibly be. And sharing my stories, my experiences, my, as AA says, experience, strengths, and hopes with others keeps me sober, keeps me grounded, keeps me going, keeps me happy. So I got another week here, and hopefully I'll get back and go see those boys up there and run into some other people that truly, truly impact me. And we're going to have a fantastic time. I just celebrated 21 years of marriage with my incredible wife, Trisha, who, if she was anybody else, would have been gone many, many years ago. So thank you to her. No doubt, thank you to her. Because of her kicking me out of the house and telling me get sober or get lost, we're still together 13 years later. Still sober, still married, got great kids, great house, good job. You never know. You don't know what tomorrow brings, and that's so cliche, but it's absolutely true. If you sit and wonder the what ifs are going to overtake the let's do it. Sometimes you got to take that leap, man. Sometimes you got to jump. You don't know the outcome, but damn it, I'm going to give it my best shot. If it works, it works. If it don't, hopefully I can learn from it. If I want to try it again, I'll try it again, this time with a different approach. Don't sit and wallow in what you don't have. Be grateful for what you do. I think I'm going to leave it there, and maybe I'll record that second half of the My Story podcast, where I pick up with the first meeting at Doctor's Hospital, and we continue that journey of sobriety together. And I'll share some stories in that with you guys. I do need some guests. I'm trying to set up a few. Got 3 of them on the hook right now, waiting to coordinate times when we both mesh. And hopefully, I'll have some good stories for you, sharing some experiences, strengths, and hopes of others, and some nonprofits that are helping veterans through motorcycles is one of them. I'd like to get in touch with the Motorcycle Relief Project guys. So if anybody knows anybody out there, get me in touch with them. JohnnyMomedia@gmail.com. I'd love to talk with those guys and share their numbers. I got a call into a buddy of mine in Virginia who is not the curator, but works for one of the World War II museums. And I think he's had 500 veterans that they've helped and spread their stories. And I'm really interested and looking forward to talking to him about his travels and the journey that he has had over the years since he and I served together back in, holy cow, I think it was like 90, it was 90 something we were serving together. It was either at George Air Force Base or Nellis. I don't remember. Yeah, that's where we're at. So, give us a like and a follow. And if you can, man, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast from. It really does help. Trying to push those numbers up. Right now, we're at about 2,200 downloads, and I am overwhelmed with the fact that somebody wanted to listen to my stuff 2,200 times. That's amazing. The geolocation for the downloads from Spreaker tells me that I guess you can call myself worldwide now. I've been listened to in like 14 states, I think it was. Russia, India, Croatia. Yeah, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. Father's Day weekend is this weekend, so to all you fathers out there that are good fathers and have an impact on your children's lives or are pseudo fathers to others, man, keep doing what you're doing. Our lives, our stories, our impact on others is seldom seen. And many of us don't get to see how our children react or interact with the world around them when we're not around. And how they act when we're not around speaks volumes of their upbringing. And one of the greatest compliments I've ever had came to me this week from a former flight chief of my daughter in the Air Force. And it's apparently our kids do listen when we think they're not. So, guys, keep doing what you're doing. Happy Father's Day to everyone. Happy Father's Day to my dad, Jim. In Ohio, he's not having a real good go of things the last couple years, but he's still my dad and he's still my hero. So with that, I will leave you. And remember, we'll get through it together, just like Dave said. See ya.